I don't know if it's an honor to go first or they put you on the spot first, but I'm glad to see this many people here. This is wonderful. In answer to the question of what would be my first priority if I was elected to the council, improvement of the infrastructure would be number one. That includes the buildings, the streets, the sidewalks. We need to improve those because that is the appearance of Weston. When people come down from the lake or anybody comes to visit town, that's the first impression that they get of the city of Weston. I would like to see something done about that. My solutions would be, first of all, to channel more money from the budget into those projects. Secondly, enforce laws that are already on the book, such as people are required to maintain their sidewalks, which is obviously not being done in Weston. We have broken sidewalks in the winter. People do not remove their snow, and yet it is on the books that you must maintain your sidewalks. I would also seek outside funds. There are grants out there that are available, government programs such as the Department of Transportation, which we utilized at one time in taking care of the problem up here at the Narrows, so there wouldn't be any more falling rocks. We work closely with the state government and federal government when I was on the council from 2007 to 2015. I would also consult with other cities to see how they have handled their infrastructures, particularly Clarksburg, and we are currently in the process of getting in touch with certain individuals that might have that knowledge and could provide it to us. I also think responsible spending is a solution to that. Immediate review of the current budget, detailed reports of expenditures of each department at council meetings, and regular work sessions to make changes in the budget and maintain a rainy day fund. Increasing public awareness and how we would do that. I would maintain a website. A weekly newspaper article would not hurt, explaining what each department did during the past week. You might call it your city at work. I would speak to government classes at the high school if asked to do so. I would have a student government day in which students would take over positions such as city manager, mayor, etc. I would have more accessibility to this council by putting our telephone numbers on website, having it available to city buildings so that they could contact us anytime if there are questions. I would also have more openness, where would be detailed explanations from each department at council meetings, not just say, you have my report before you. Okay, finally, completion of topics being considered at public hearings, complete detail. Thank you.
Thank you. Ward 1, Steve Weaver.
Well, good evening. My name is Steve Weaver. I'm a candidate for City Council in Ward 1. My priorities and so forth aren't quite as detailed as Mr. Oldacre's, but I do have responses to those questions. In fact, the first priority, on day one, I want to meet with the heads of all the departments that serve the city. Moving forward with a new mayor and a council, we need to quickly establish a proactive working relationship with those that serve our citizens. So we need to be involved with them immediately and have an understanding of what we can do day to day. As far as the increasing transparency and engagement is concerned, last evening I had an opportunity to speak with a man and his wife while I was out knocking on some doors. And nice folks, they live in my ward and they lived here for many years. And among the concerns that they shared with me was this very issue of engagement. They feel somewhat detached. And he said, I don't expect someone to come knocking on my door every 3 months. I want somebody to when I have an issue, I need them to address it. I need them to listen to what I have to say. And that should go without saying. We need to be involved on a regular basis. And I stood there for a moment talking to him and I said, well, what if we had a ward meeting, sort of like a town hall meeting, where periodically, every quarter, every 6 months or whatever, we could get together as a ward of citizens and sit down and talk about all the concerns and the ideas that you have moving forward. And he liked the idea that it's something we could schedule, something we could plan. That way we could have more of our neighbors be able to participate. As far as transparency is concerned, look, the business of the city is not really a matter of national security. What we do as a local government is we interact with our citizens. We do the things that take care of our citizens, help to improve the quality of life. So unless the circumstances, I think, are of a sensitive nature that would require some discretion, I don't know of a good reason why we should withhold so much information. We need to be transparent. We need to be reaching out to our community. Every citizen within the borders of Weston matters, and we need to treat them as such. They should count in everything that we do, and we just need to move forward on those things. I believe Weston is like so many other communities around the country. For the past 20 plus years, they've suffered a struggle with economic decline. We have to take proactive and positive approaches to improving those things. We can't go back to the way it was 25, 30, 40 years ago, but we need to look at what is working in other places around the nation and try to see if it's something that we can pursue and successfully apply to Weston and what we do every day.
Time.
Well, I thank you. That's all I have to do.
All right, and rounding out Ward 1 would be John Wiley, but he was unable to attend this evening. Before we get into Ward 2, I just want to let everybody know there is some campaign material over here if you're interested. There's some signs and different pins and things, so take a look over there when you get a chance also. Okay, Ward 2, Randy Bowen.
Good evening. My name's Randy. I'm running for Ward 2 Council. In regards to the first question of what would be your first priority, well, my first priority would be first to make something possible so that if we ever get to the phase of annexation or zoning, we have something to annex or zone. If we don't have anything to spend the money on, there's no need to have annexation. We've let the town go down so bad. We need to get new ditches along the roads. We need to get the drains cut under the roads. We need to use the ordinances that we have currently in place to get the junk cars, the dilapidated houses, the sidewalks, and just plain housekeeping. We could spend 4 years housekeeping this town to get it presentable to where we could offer something to annexation freeholders. Right now we offer them nothing. It's no wonder that they're not interested in it, because we're wanting to create revenue without services provided. So I think we need to get what we have cleaned up now, get our feet under us, get things where town is presentable for people to come here, for businesses to come here, for families to want to raise their kids here. Right now I don't think we have that, and we just need to get to the fundamentals. Question number 2, how would you work to increase transparency and engagement with local government and the community? Well, Jim kind of stole my line. We have your report. No, that's not the way you hold a council meeting, in my opinion. You post the report, you post the finances, you post the police report, you post all that prior to the meeting so people have an idea what's going on and can discuss it. You have to have an operating website. I don't believe Weston has one now. You have to have phone numbers of councilmen and contact information, which the contact information on the website that you pull up is from 5 years ago. The councilman's not even on the council anymore. So you have to be able to interact with people. Transparency, you got to be able to, finance report. Here it is. Here's the reconciled checkbook. Here's the canceled checks. Here's the invoices that match the canceled checks. It's posted. It's laying over there on the table for consumption of the people that come to the meeting. We don't ever have that. We need that. Everybody needs to see where that every dime's going, what it's going for, and how it balances and how much money's coming in, how much is going out. We don't have that at this point. Those are my important, those are two of the most important things to me when running for this position. So thank you.
Next for Ward 2 is Melissa Henline.
Good evening, I'm Melissa Henline, and it is a pleasure to be here with all of you this evening. I am your candidate for Ward 2, City Council here in our town. Please let me tell you a little bit about myself and then I'll get to the questions. I am a West Virginia native. I was born in Morgantown and raised in Lost Creek by my mother, who sadly we lost when I was 21, and my dad, who's a proud Vietnam veteran. I lived there and graduated from South Harrison High School, and then I attended WVU in Parkersburg and earned a degree in surgical technology. I am currently a surgical technologist. I am married to George, who I absolutely love. He was a Lewis County boy, and he has made me a Lewis County wife. We are both employed here in Weston, and I have come to love the city of Weston. It has become my home, and together we are hoping to raise a family here. If the voters of Ward 2 choose me as their council member, my first priority would be to continue and finish what has been started by the current council. Annexation and zoning plans are two of the works I'm talking about. Whatever the current council is not completed needs to be become a priority of the new council. There is no need throwing away the time and efforts that have already been put into these projects, as well as the money, which is the citizens of Weston's money. It is unrealistic to start more projects or to take on any new issues. There are other issues that I would like to see worked on if I am elected. Dealing with the rundown houses that plague our city, for one. I want to find out about how we can move or remove or remodel these homes. Infrastructure is another issue that needs to be, or that has been put on the back burner of Weston for quite some time. We need to find a way to bring our infrastructure up to par so that we can build the city up. Another issue I have heard from the citizens of Weston is that they feel that the city government is not being transparent enough. Citizens know that the city of Weston is obligated to share information with the public. The Freedom of Information Act ensures that the right of the people to know how the government is working for them. Every citizen should be willing to question what goes on in our town. It's their lawful right. Every citizen should know how to find information they seek to know. It is simple as asking questions. I have made questions as a citizen of this town. I've reached out to public officials that work in our town, and I personally have been answered. Thank you.
Ward 3, Ernestine Brooks.
Hi, I'm Ernestine Brooks. I've been in Weston for most of my life. I was born here. Lived in Shady Brook now 44 straight years. And I retired from DHHR in Lewis and Upshur County. My decision to run for the council was a result of years of following the council. I show up at council meetings, I show up at meetings all the time. And I complain a lot. So therefore, I decided that since I complain a lot, I should be willing to do something about it. That was the reason. There's an awful lot of negativity when you talk to people in this city. They aren't willing to get up and do anything about it. My big problem is that if everybody would come to council meetings, they would know more of what was going on in the city. If you have questions, you need to ask the mayor and everybody else. My first priority, of course, with the city of Weston is roads. It's always roads. We need to find a way to fix some of them. It's not only the city's problem, it's a state problem as well. Some of the state roads are as bad. Hopefully, myself and other council members, I won't be alone, there'll be 3 others, are willing to encourage the citizens to become more involved in the city. I want to be available to everybody if they have questions. If I can answer them, I will. My priorities are simply to do the best job that I can. That's it.
Up next is Mr. Gary Foster.
Thank
No problem.
Good evening, everybody. I want to thank Michelle and the Young Democrats for hosting the event tonight. This is great. I love seeing this. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Gary Foster, I'm running for councilman in Ward 3. Basically, the reason I decided to run is because of your priorities and the transparency. We know there are issues in our city, but if I am elected councilman, my priority is going to be the residents of Ward 3. And they are telling me what the issues are. I'm talking to them. We know what they are, but I'm listening to them. I'm going to be working for them. Any public servant, that's what you do. You work for the people that put you in office. So that's my priority, is the people of Shady Brook, Haleville, Vandervoorts Edition, and Fairgrounds Edition, which is Ward 3. And I hope that I'm able to be there. I always will be there for them. If they call me, I'm going to get right back to them. That's what I've told them. If you don't want a pen or a pad, please grab one of my little business cards. My personal cell phone number is on there. My email address is on there. I want to talk to you. And that goes to the transparency issue also. I want to work face to face. And for the past 13 years, I've worked in the assessor's office, and I deal with people every day face to face. I hear their concerns. It may be in the office, it may be on their front porch, it may be in their living room. But I listen, and I take that time to listen to them. And I want to help them if I can. And that's what I want to do as a Ward 3 councilman. And I think that at the meetings, I think we have to put it back into a situation where the people can come and talk for 3 minutes. I don't think 3 minutes a person is anything when you meet once a month. The first Monday of every month you meet, let's give our citizens 3 minutes to have their say. Now, I'm not talking about let's get into a debate. Let's hear what you have to say, and then let's, as a council and as mayor, let's follow up on that. Let's follow up on that concern. This is about working with our residents for the betterment of our community. And we can do that. We can do that. I've done it for 13 years. I can see what positive change can do. I can see how it can transform people. I've experienced it in the assessor's office. We have to serve our constituents. And that's what I want to do. And I appreciate your consideration on June 11th. Thank you.
Next, we have Mr. Roger Gaines.
Hi, Roger Gaines, running for Ward 3. I served 4 years on the city council. I did a lot of side work with the city, with my own equipment. But now on this priority, our roads need paved, they need ditched. There's so much of the infrastructure that needs attention quick. And I think with the right council, I think we could get right on that project. And I think we need to work with safety. Because I worked with safety a lot when I was on council before. And I think we need to get a little tougher on the safety. I think we need more meetings. to get together, different problems. And if I'm elected, on my business card, I have my home phone number, my cell phone number. I can be reached at any time. I'm retired from the Department of Highway, 26 years of service there, so I've had a lot of experience with drainage problems, paving. So I think if I'm elected, I think I could be a positive spot there for the street department. That's all I have at this time.
Last for Ward 3, we have William Woofter, who's not here at the moment. We did reach out to him, but we were unable to make contact. Obviously he didn't show. So before we get into Ward 4, I do want to mention that we are Facebook Living this event right now, and it will be shared to the announcement page and the city page and all that stuff, and on our personal Young Democrats page. So we'll go right into Ward 4, Herb Curtis.
Good evening, I appreciate everybody coming. My name's Herb Curtis, I'm running for Ward 4. I'll go ahead and get started with the first question. What will be your first priority in office and why? To become educated with the structure of the budget and the day-to-day operations. We've got to do some housekeeping and know what's going on. You got to know what's going on and how things are operating before you can fix things. When restructuring, to create and structure a budget that will be beneficial to the city, including residents and businesses, including business owners. When restructuring the budget, I would like to create initiatives, including lower taxes for business owners. To get everybody on board, including city and county, business owners and residents, to create a 5-year comprehensive plan to revitalize our town. You got to have a plan, and you got to have at least a 5-year plan, in my opinion, if you're going to build off of things and to get things accomplished. You got to have some kind of plan to do that. How will you work to increase transparency and engagement with local government and the community? I'd like to request from the local paper to create a section of the paper for all business that is conducted within the city government each week. Hold and conduct the finance report during the city council meetings. I think the finance report should be done right here in front of the public. The money that we're dealing with and that the city operates with belongs to the taxpayers and to the city, and they should know where every penny's going. I truly believe in transparency, and I'm right in the midst of it, in the middle of transparency all the time. I'm the secretary of the Masonic Temple over here, and I got to do a finance report at every meeting. We have 2 meetings a month. A snapshot, I meet with an investor in Bridgeport, and we did have investments, and I go over a snapshot for all investments. So you got to have transparency. And the last thing that I see, in my opinion, with this town, and why it's in the shape it's in, nobody's on board together. Everybody's fighting against each other. And I work for Dominion Energy, the gas company, and also director and an officer I was until I resigned to do this campaign for the United Gas Workers Union Local 69. And I'm the man they send in to connect the dots, to get people on board to work together. So, and it can be done, but we got to have everybody on board. We're either all in or we're all out. So hopefully we can get everybody on board and enforce these ordinances and get people to clean up their places, and us get these dilapidated houses tore down and infrastructure with roads and all. I appreciate it.
Up next from Ward 4 is Julia
Hello, I'm Julia, and I've been mayor for 12 years, and so I guess I'm the only one that really has, been here that you all are talking about. I feel things are quite good, especially on the financial end. We were able to bring on Dodie as a CPA, who has done a terrific job. Our budget's gone $1 million up in the past, I think since you came on board. We were able to, I think she brought up our collection rate of municipal fees from 75% to 95%, which is really important to make sure everybody, talk about transparency, making sure everybody is paying their fair share when it comes to municipal fees. The money is very important. Last year we were able to pave $250,000 worth of roads. And this coming year it should be better. There are some things that would like to be done. For example, in our ward, Court Avenue is horrible. And we've come to discover we really don't have, we don't have any drainage down through there. And it's just, we have to fix that drainage before we're able to pave. And that's one of the big things. But we were able to pave Brown Avenue. We have torn down buildings. And I agree, there are a lot of dilapidated houses here. And that's the case throughout West Virginia. Any small town, you're going to run into the same thing. I was talking to someone today, as a matter of fact, we were able to, because of the good finances, we were able to hire a city manager. And this is the first time in 12 years that I've been involved that we were able to pay someone an adequate salary to come in and do the job correctly. I have high hopes for him. He has a lot of, he's worked in Huntington, he's worked in Martinsburg, and I'm really hoping we need it is someone to manage the city. As far as the other finances, Kenny James has worked wonders here at the fire department. If you remember, $800,000 in debt back in 2009. What he's done with our SAFER grants, being able to bring on full-time firefighters, improving our ISO ratings. Maybe that doesn't mean anybody to you. That means you have lower insurance rates. With transparency, I have copies of all of our budgets, and I asked Kristen today, does anybody ever come in and ask to look at the budget? She's been there 10 years, and according to her, she didn't think so. I have the new zoning ordinance, and the only one that asked about it so far was Kim Harrison, and we didn't have it ready yet. It's 120 pages. We don't get, at the city building, we just don't get people coming in and asking for these important things. We have different opinions about the way a city meeting should go.
Time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And Ward 4 has a write-in candidate, Kara Vanek, who could not be with us this evening. So we're going to jump into Mayor. Rebecca Baldwin.
Hello everyone, I'm Becky Baldwin. I'm candidate for mayor. To tell you a little bit about myself, I've been a teacher for 20 plus years. I have a BA in English education from Glenville State College and a master's from Marshall University in English and another master's degree in adult and technical education. And where adult and technical education come into play with my campaign is economic development. Adult and technical education is all about that, training and also learning ways, teaching ways that a city can improve its chances at economic development, such as infrastructure. And Weston really needs to look at its infrastructure. And if elected, one of the first things that I will do is, like any job, go in, sit down, shut the door, look at the budget, look at the charter, look at the minutes, look at the citizen complaint reports, and see if they've been addressed, and just go around and meet everyone employed by the city. There's something that I read that was very interesting about citizen satisfaction surveys. And I would like to start that. the place where I read, it was about another city, they did it twice a year. It just depends if we have controversial issues that come up, such as annexation. We need to take a little bit temperature of how everyone's feeling. I think I would like to have a citizens research room. This, we can't, from what I understand, we have to adhere to Robert's Rules of Orders. And I've been a teacher for 20+ years, like I mentioned before, and have been very used to leading discussions and keeping people on subject and finishing up by a certain time limit. I don't know if the time can be expanded, that citizens can speak. If it can, it should be. We should also have a website, and there's no reason why we can't stream council meetings. It was mentioned that some citizens don't come into City Hall, perhaps because of demographics. They can't attend the council meeting. They can't come to City Hall. So we have to reach out to them, I believe. And there's no reason why we just can't walk up to someone on the street, go visit the fire department here, things like that, and just, hi, how you doing? What's going on? Things like that. And I'd love to see this is great to see all these people out. And I thank you very much. I'm Becky Baldwin. Thank you.
Up next, we have Mr. David Blake.
Could I go last? 3 minutes aren't going to cut it.
I can't.
You can?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
This is terrible. I told you, didn't I?
You ever lived here almost all my life for 15 years when I was in Henderson, Kentucky. The reason it's going to take me a little bit longer than anybody else is because my answer to the first question, you have to know a little bit about me before I can answer that question. Because I don't think a lot of you would understand what I'm talking about. I've been an executive officer, supervisor, manager with Halliburton Services, myself and everything for 38 to 40 years. The charter says that the mayor is the executive officer of the Common Council. Well, if you're an executive officer, you should have some knowledge about how to manage things. I have that ability. I went through it. I brought books to prove to you my records, my promotions, everything I've had through Halliburton Services, myself, and a company that I own called Interact. Now, you asked me, the first question is, it's meetings, meetings, meetings. You've got to know the people you're working with. You've got to sit down with each one of them and find out their high points and their low points, because they're the ones that's going to make the decision, not the mayor. The mayor is supposed to organize all this and get it going. So you have meetings. From there, you have to have committees. And you have to discuss something. The mayor is not there to say, we're going to do it this way. It's for the city of Weston and everybody else to be involved. Now, I think the city council meeting should be a city council meeting. It's not a bitch session. If you want to come and bitch, have a town hall meeting. In a town hall meeting, get up and express, or if you want to call somebody a bad name, as long as the police don't throw you out, then you go ahead and do it, or the person punches you. But town hall meetings is where you get things going. And then after the town hall meetings, you make a list of everything, the complaints, and turn around to them and says, I'm not going to do this, what are you going to do? You complained about this, what are you going to do? That's what needs to be done. If you're going to have people and get this city going, it's not the people in the council, it's you, every one of you. You need to choose a good mayor, a good council, What?
That's time.
No, it's not either.
It is.
No, I'm not done.
You're already.
I'm not done.
Up next.
And you need to get along with the county too.
Up next, Mr. Terry Koger. I'm sure you noticed she's our time lady.
Right.
Okay.
I don't know if I can follow you, Dave, but
Oh yeah, you can. You followed me for a long time.
okay. Well, my name's Terry Koger. I think most of you know me. I've had 16 years experience in city government. And I think the first thing we need to do would be go through your department heads, evaluate them, see if you're getting your money's worth from them, and maybe redirect what the work is doing, and maybe change my mind a little bit on city manager, stuff like this. The roads, of course, are bad, but if you don't ditch, get the water running the way it's supposed to be, you might as well forget about the roads. And the second question, I believe the meetings ought to be open to the public. City meeting, you people are the city. Whoever you elect just represents you. So when you come to the meeting, you need your time to speak. And we need to be listening to you. And you gotta understand, if you come and sign up as a delegation, you get to be heard. You don't necessarily get to be answered because you're not on the agenda. The thing would be, call in, put your name on the agenda, and then get your answers that same night. Or at least some kind of answer. Other than that, that's about all I've got to say.
And up last, we have Miss Kim Harrison.
Thank you for coming to listen to all of us this evening. I anticipated a time limit, so I have handouts for you with my background information. So please feel free to share. I am a lifelong resident of Lewis County and an 8-year citizen of Weston. You will find on that sheet my background information, which includes education, my work experience, accomplishments, and organizations that I'm involved with. At the bottom of the page, you'll see the 5 most important goals that I feel the new mayor and candidates should be responsible for and carry out. On the very back of that handout, since I've been doing door-to-door campaigning, I have come across quite a few people, and they have resounding issues which I felt free to list. If you have any additional, please feel free to let any of the candidates know what you think those issues are. As far as the questions, the first priority, citizens are rightly asking and sometimes demanding for the town to be cleaner. Ditches, streets, paving, patching, junk cars. And if elected, I would gladly work with the new city manager and a council in order to find the resources to take care of those issues. As far as transparency and engagement, I have several ideas. A website and Facebook page that is kept current, user-friendly, and informative. A software system that provides real-time process flow for citizens' complaints and issues. More detailed communication through the media. Direct interaction with citizens through face-to-face encounters, local public speaking events, working with youth in the school system, encouraging and foster working relationships with other government officials countywide in the town of Jane Lew, and active participation in networking opportunities regionally and statewide. I am asking for your support, and I really would appreciate your vote. Thank you. everyone to please give a warm thank you to the Young Dems, the Democratic Women, and the Fire Department for hosting this great event.
So that's all of the candidates that we have here this evening. It's about 7 o'clock and we're here until 8. So if you want to get up and mingle with the candidates, if they're willing to speak with you, I'm sure most of them would be. Take some time and get to know them, because that's really what makes government work. It doesn't work unless everybody works together. So thank you guys for coming out this evening. I hope you had a good time, and please grab some stuff. Grab some cookies, please.